Well, hello and welcome to another episode. I need a new workbench, so that's what's starting this project off. I got an idea in my head that I've been wanting to try for a while. The biggest thing with building airplanes is making sure that your workbench is flat. Now, we built this barn last year. Started working out at it at the end of last year. It's still a work in progress. I'm still organizing the upstairs. That's why you see all the boxes and everything. But I got a new project that I'd like to start building, and I always start by checking to make sure that the workbench that I'm going to build the plane off of is flat. My island has been around for 15, 16 years. It's built many planes. It stayed pretty true. You can see the bottom of it here. It's made out of the workbench is made out of 2x6s, and then it's got 2x12 legs. I went ahead and added this top to it when we moved into the barn because I had room for a full sheet of plywood. So it's turned into from a 2 foot wide by, I think it's like 6 is the main table. It's now a 4 foot by 8 foot sheet, but it has developed a warp. I tried really hard to get it out when I put this work table on. That's why you see the struts underneath there holding the table up, because it was starting to bow because of the weight. Overall not super happy with it. And it has been my main building table for many years. This one that's over here, again, I apologize about the mess. Hopefully one of these days I'll have a place to put everything. This bench here is the one. This 2 foot by 4 foot bench is what my dad started building airplanes on. It's still flat. It's somewhat usable. It's the size of planes that I build nowadays. Its limitations just shows its ugly face. I really like having a rather large work table. So the idea here is I'm going to start building a table today. I don't know if it's going to be called the ultimate table, but it's going to go right here. So I got to move all that stuff out of the way. I'm going to take those shelving units down. It's going to be 2 foot by 8 foot, 2 foot wide by 8 foot long. I've tried different workbenches that are, 3 foot, 4 foot wide, and I much prefer a workbench that's 2 feet wide because it keeps the clutter down. You don't have that unusable space that you can't reach across. And usually 2 feet wide is plenty long enough for any workbench. I'm going to go 8 feet because I got to build a one-piece wing that's approximately 6 feet long. So that'll give me some extra space to build that wing. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up some 2x4s, and it'd probably be easier to show you the end result rather than go through the process here. I got this my drafting table laid out with this sheet of paper here, and what I like to do, what I'm going to do is start with a template. So I'll just kind of show you the basis of my idea here. So don't need that. I just absolutely love my drafting table. So anyways, with it being 2 feet wide, I'll start somewhere around here for my template. This is going to be for the cross stringers. I'm basically going to build a series of boxes. I know there's a name for it, but I can't quite remember the name of it. Nice thing about having, that might be too flat, is it? Oh, I'll have to fix that later. I'll start with it. Oh, I see what's going on here. I thought I had this table screwed up. Anyways, while I'm sitting here drawing, I'll bring you back in here and show you what I coming up with. All right. I think whenever you're rearranging and making some new stuff for your shop, it's gonna get messy. I've been doing some cutting of my stringers, so I think you can start to see the idea here that I got. I'm going to cut all these out. I actually came up with the idea that maybe a locking system like this would make for a flatter workbench. I'm picking up my 2x4s carefully, make sure they're, somewhat straight and not warped badly like, this one down here is. It's, you can see I can rock it. This floor is flat. So anyways, this is the idea I came up with. I think they call this a torsion box. I think that was the words I was looking for earlier. So I cut all these out using a whole jigsaw. I definitely got some, sanding to do and fitting, but right now I'm going to have 3 stringers. 1, 2, 3. These are going to be on 16-inch centers. There's 8 foot long, so it'll be 6 stringers there, 6 runners side to side. I did make a run to the lumber yard and got some plywood this morning before they closed. I should have the main box built today. Hoping to have it. I don't know if I'll get around to getting legs underneath of it or not today. I got a full 4 foot by 8 foot sheet of plywood, had them cut it in half. Making sure that one of them was at least 2 feet because of the curve on the saw that they were using. And I'll make the shorter one, which shouldn't be much narrower, will end up being a shelf underneath of it. Is kind of where I'm going with this. So anyways, I'll keep you guys updated. I'm not going to show all this, but I'm basically just laying all this out. And then you can see where my X's are at. That's the side that I'm going to cut so I can keep things straight. Not using, not much of a woodworker, but I try. This isn't by any means going to be, I'm going to try to make it as nice as I possibly can. But I just got an old jigsaw here. And I got a chop saw there that makes some bigger cuts. I do have a saw, a radial saw that I can use to also. This is taking some time though to make all these cuts. I probably got hour and a half, 2 hours into these. So anyway, just keeping you guys updated with where I'm at and what I'm doing here, and hope you guys are having a good weekend, and we'll shoot again here in a little while. Well, I've been hard at it working on this workbench here. Pretty happy with it. I got some gaps in there that wish I could have got a little tighter. The wood was not the best, I gotta be honest. I did end up having to use that twisted piece because I didn't cut enough of the stringers, and then I broke one here in the middle putting it on because the tight fit was too tight. It's pretty flat. I kind of curious to see what it's going to look like when I get some legs on it, but I just thought I'd give you guys a short little update here on where it's at, how it's going. Next step's going to be getting all this mess, getting room for the new table to go in. When I go out and get some legs, I think I'm going to go with 3 legs on the back, probably 2x4s on the back. I'll just probably end up just attaching them to the outside here, right there, one in the middle, one on the end, try to give it some more support. I did realize that they call these a torsion box. I've always wanted to build one. Yeah, would I do it again? Yeah, if I had better equipment, it probably would go a little easier. I'm not a woodworker by any means. I do try my best. I do like building work tables, as you can tell. The island, when talking to the wife last night, the island is definitely going to go over to the shop where my car's at. I need a big heavy table over there. It doesn't matter for flatness. I think we're going to just look for some bottom kitchen cabinets, and I'll build a new island with the top that I have. That'll be probably this summer. So that'll give me some more storage so I can maybe empty some more of these boxes out. If I haven't said it before, this shop is 16 by 24 outside dimensions. I did have it professionally built by the Amish out here. They did an okay job. I wouldn't call it you know, oh my God, this thing's incredible. We did finish out the inside. Those upper cabinets were bought at a lumber store. The middle one actually come out of the kitchen that we didn't need for our new fridge. The lower cabinets I've bought used years ago from my other shop that I had that the new owners didn't want. So got a rack there, got a spice rack down there at the end. So I like to have a few more lower cabinets. I got a couple more of those little ones like that up there. Might end up throwing them over here where that rack's at. This come out of a vanity, bought that at a garage sale. This one here. A nice place to store my radios at. Some of them anyways. I wish it'd fit all of them, but it won't. Anyhow, there's a little update on that. So I'll bring you guys back in when I got some legs on it and got her set in place over here. So it's going to get even more messy. I did sweep up the floor a little bit this morning, but had to obviously cut some more pieces out. So I got some more cleaning to do. After I get these legs cut, I will pretty much be done sawing the lumber. The plywood top's already pre-cut for me. So anyhow, hopefully have this project wrapped up here sometime today, and maybe have some fun. A little update on the Royal 45. I did source a back plate. Thank you, Glow Nation, on the Facebook page. It's a great group. It's not the first time they've got me out of bind with hard to get parts. So anyhow, we'll probably be coming out with a new video on that in the next few weeks. So anyways, I'm going to let you go, and I'll bring you back here in a little bit. It's going to take me a dang week to clean this mess up in here. Holy cow. It is just crap's everywhere. Anyways, got a table. I made an addition to it also. My wife's got had an armoire upstairs that she was no longer in need of. So I started looking at it, and I'm like, man, what can I use this for? And as you can tell, I put one of the two drawers in there. I have never done anything like this before, put a drawer in a workbench, so that took a little bit of time of figuring out. I made took a lot of measurements off the armoire, and then once I got the drawers in here and kind of freely assembled it on the workbench. But look at that. That's going to be some nice storage. So I got my legs in. I tend to use some crooked ones for my legs, but it is flat. It's not perfectly level. I can get that later. I don't glue my workbenches together. I glued the island together, and I've regretted it ever since, because you can't take it apart. You can't make changes to it. You know, if you get a warp or something or a low spot, you can, take the screws back apart, shim it, do whatever you need to do to get that thing flat. That kind of, by putting the drawer in, kind of made me decide where the middle center legs were going to go. I was hoping to put them in the middle. But anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to continue putting the other drawer right here. Yep, right there. I think that'll make it a nice work area. You always need drawers for stuff. I mean, I could put, it's going to be a build table, so I can put my angles, my 90s, my saws, my X-Acto blades all in one spot. Everything I need to build an airplane with. And I'll still transfer over that homesote over here. But I thought I'd get you guys in here for a little bit. put the bench on top on, screw it down. I do like to use drywall screws. I'll try to find a place to prop you up here. Let's see, how about a scrap 2x4 on the scroll saw. Yeah, that looks pretty good. There we go. Anyhow, I always try to pick a side on my worktop. This is 1/2 inch. Smooth sided. I probably could go on my rough. Save myself a few bucks. But holy cow, have you guys priced lumber lately? $68 for a sheet of plywood, 1/2 inch, like this. Of course, this is for making cabinets, but like I said, it makes for a nice top. I got it on my island too. Anyhow, like my drywall screws, I usually buy that in bulk. I usually start in the center and work my way out. What do you guys think of this so far? Pretty good? I ain't no woodworker, but I try. I have been getting better over the years. Anyhow, that'll mark all my studs are at. I don't really measure this stuff out. I just do the TLAR method. That looks about right. Sometimes you can take, like, I used to have a big square. I don't have it anymore. Don't do that. Sometimes you can take a piece of wood. It's got a squared edge up on it. That way you don't miss your joint. Anyhow, this is probably pretty boring. I hope you guys are enjoying the work table build. Like I said before, having a nice flat surface to build on is paramount because, well, if your work table ain't flat, then your thing ain't gonna be flat. It's gonna have a ward bit on it. I'm still kind of working on, like I said earlier, working on getting the shop together and utilizing the space that I have. The last shop I had was tiny compared to this. You could put 4 of them in here. The wife doesn't tolerate the balsa dust in the house and the roof fumes and stuff, so which is okay by me. So I have a building to build in instead. But my last building was, I'm trying to remember, 8 by 12, 8 foot by 12 foot. It was tiny. It was just a built place though. I had my island in there in the middle, and I had a workbench there over against the wall in there, and the small my dad's small table, and probably a couple planes at a time. There wasn't a lot of room in there to store planes. Basically, the set wasn't there while it was working, so you don't have to have something this sophisticated. It's nice to have everything in one place. It's insulated. I did all that, all the insulation to drive all the electrical inside the building myself. I had a problem with the supply line out to the shop. That's where this gets its power from, and so I had to call in a professional to run new wire on the ground from the house to the shop. And I wish that cabin, I wish I'd have moved it over just a hair bit. It is really nice. Anyways, there's the top on there. I don't normally paint them. Probably the only time you'll ever see this tabletop clean. No, I'm going to try my best to keep it clean. I think I got a belt sander. I think once I get it fixed, I think I'll maybe sand the ends and stuff like that, and maybe trim everything up with a sander. And I got a planer over there. I could bevel the edges. Not really going to see it though with putting the homesote on top. I don't know if you guys know what that is. That big board back there, but that's homesote. Homesote, I believe it's spelled. It's sound deadening insulation board. They use it a lot in the music industry for sound rooms and stuff like that, because it silences all your sound, I guess. Or yeah, you know what I mean. Anyways, it's a great material to build off of. You can buy it in a 4x8 sheet panel. I found that at my local lumber yard. They ordered it in for me. I've cut it in half. There's the other half underneath their mess. That's the one I'll transfer over. Keep that one for future use. But the nice thing about it is it lasts a really long time. It takes pins real easily. Usually the downfall to it is the glue spatter. You get some glue on it, get some hard spots, and well, then you can flip it over, use the other side. I mean, I've had homesote last me 15 years before, so as long as you're careful with it, it'll last you a long time. And it's not that expensive either. So anyhow, I know you can get it at Menards in like 2 foot by 6 foot, 2 foot by 4 foot individual panels, a lot cheaper than what a full sheet will cost you. But you might check it out if you're a builder, instead of using like ceiling tile or foam board, or you know, trying to nail into a chunk of plywood. Some guys do that. Of course, you got magnets, but that can get quite pricey. So anyhow, I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to get that other drawer installed, and I'll bring you back when I got that done. All right, bye. All right, back at it again here. I just thought I'd show you guys a little progress here. Boy, it turned out really nice. I had a couple problems with it. I'll point those out to you. The drawer spacing is on the guides is pretty critical, and as you can see here, I had a few problems with getting it just perfect. So that's again why I screw a lot of things together. You can see how nice that drawer opens and closes here. I'll try to get you a better view here. Anyways, here you go. And then this one, it can be a little more tricky, like it's sticking right there, and then it'll pop out. But I don't think that's too bad for a first attempt for putting drawers in a workbench. After I got all this done, the one mistake I made is I did not measure the center post. I thought checked it and everything, and it was, when I had the 4 legs on it, I screwed it in, so it was tight to the floor, and it wasn't picking it up or pushing it down. And I checked it, and it was good. And then I got started adding the drawers in, added a couple more legs in, and both of my corners down here lifted up. And I mean, I had probably about a 1/2 inch gap with a straight edge across here, right here, like at the worst. And you can see I had, when I cut this was flat with the top of that 2x4. You can actually see where I screwed it. Like I said, I had a lot of problems getting I had adjusted quite a few times to get the sliders correct. So that's why that's like that too. So anyways, what I did is I went ahead and screwed it to the wall in the back. You can see the remnants of that 2x4 there, and that 2x4 there, and I screwed it to the wall, to the studs of the wall that I know are flat. And then I weighed this down over here with about 80 pounds of pellets. You can see them there. Put them all in this corner, and that pushed this down. And then I checked it with a straight edge, and it was flat again. I'm like, okay, so we got it's got a little torsion to it, like it twisted a little bit. I don't know if it's because I added, it was right after I added the supports and had the drawers in there. So I put that in there, and then I cut this piece here, which was leftover wood from my trucking days. They used to use those. Some of them boards were super nice, and I brought them home because they were just going to go throw them in the garbage. I try to reuse stuff if I can, and so I added that support in there, and now I'll show you with the straight edge here. I know this is straight, an old level, and you can see there ain't a gap in there. I mean, some of that stuff because of that wood's radiused over, but gotta get you close in here. If there was a gap in there, you'd see light, and I can't push it down either. Here. I mean, she's straight from one edge to the other. This side's the same. See how flat that is? And then see back here. This has always been true ever since I got it set up. It is not level. It doesn't matter if it's level. It just matters if it's flat. I'm not going to be setting incidences up on this table. I won't be setting up wings or stabilizers on this with a level, like I like to do sometimes, or with my Robart incidence meter. That is what the center's for. That table's level, it's pretty close. I mean, it's right in there. And when I set an engine or set a wing incidence up, and I level that fuselage or I level that wing saddle or whatever I'm working on, yet it's flat. My level is, when I put it on the stable, whatever I'm trying to level is going to be flat. This is just going to be a work table, not a work table, but a building table. I'll put my homesote on here in a minute. We'll fill the drawers up with saws and stuff. I'm going to put sandpaper in this one and tools in that one, like hand saws and knives and everything I need to build with. That's what all this is for over here. I'll probably stash some kits over there. I was going to put a bottom, put in a shelving unit shelf underneath. I've decided against that for the time being. I needed a place to put my prop bin at here. This here just got a lot of props in it from I bought a hobby shop out when they retired. So if any of you need electric props, let me know. I do ship. That one's empty. Not for long, I'm sure. I did manage to get 3 shelves back in up here. So there again, I'm going to rearrange that. I wasn't too happy with how clustered it was. I do have an outlet under here, and I will throw a strip on there and attach it to one of my legs here. So anyways, that's where I'm at. Kind of got happy with how that turned out. I'll get the homesote screwed down. It looks like I've used that before. Thought that was brand new. So this is how well I keep track of stuff here. Anyways, I get the homesote screwed down, and I'll probably stop here for the night after I do a lot of cleaning. I've already swept some stuff up, but I gotta get that back. That's everything that was on that shelf. There's motors. There's we got you guys like micros? Check that bad boy out. This is something my dad started, and unfortunately wasn't able to finish due to his passing. But she kind of got broke up over the last year after he got sick. But I am sure we can make her fly. I think he'd like that. Anyhow, I got all this stuff, and I'm going to work on getting this workbench cleaned off, get all the sawdust swept up, rearrange big time. So if I don't hear from me for a couple days, that's probably what I'm doing. I got a lot of garbage to throw away and a lot of sawdust to pick up. My God, this was a mess. That's why I don't like cutting in the barn, but I got a wood burner out in the shop. Plenty of room out there, but I just didn't feel like getting the wood burner fired up, and it takes a couple hours for it to get some temperature in there. It's pretty cold right now. It's in the 20s. So anyhow, and the wife brought, if you notice this change, the wife brought all the Christmas decorations in from the house. That's what all those bins are for. And so I have to deal with that now for another, well, till November anyways. Not a big deal. A lot of room out here. So anyways, I'll close that out with that, and I'll get this video edited, and thanks for watching. I do have a few subscribers. Shout out to you guys, my first few subscribers. Hopefully you stick with me and go on this crazy adventure in YouTube land. Having a lot of fun with it, and so thanks for watching, and if you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate a like, comment. You know, if you guys got any questions about building work tables, I've built a few different kinds now. I don't know that I'd build another torsion box. That was kind of a pain. I usually just slap a 2x4 frame together and level it, flatten it out, and maybe that's why my workbenches are warping. So anyways, I hope this one lasts me a really long time, and I'm going to get some good use out of it here real soon. So anyways, you guys have a good night, and I will talk to you later.